I had a really big win at the Rotary Club of Hamburg in New York. It's just south of Buffalo. There were only, I don't know, 20 some people there, I think. But three of them volunteered to drive their neighbors to cancer treatment. So that was huge. Thanks, guys. I got to relive my biggest gambling win ever when I was in Buffalo. And I am fucking over summer already. Today's the first day and I'm already over it. But first, a big thank you to Denora, Lynn, Marion Dennis, and the Rotary Club of Turtle Creek, Pennsylvania for donating to the American Cancer Society in honor of my journey. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I know, not everybody can donate to something like this. I get that. So I just want you, everybody else, just ask yourself, if a donation is something you could do. And if you can, great. And if you can't, I get it. That's fine. I'd like you to consider donating $1 for every time somebody referenced Forrest Gump on this journey. That would be about $10,000. So just ask yourself, is that something you can offer? Probably not, but if you can, thank you. You could also consider $1 for every time I had to pee in the bushes, and that's estimated around 5,000 times over the course of this journey. So again, just ask yourself if that's something you can do, and if not, no problem. But if you can, please do. You can go to chemoriders.org/donate. The summer's really been getting me these last few weeks. Like, I know today is the first day of summer, but already, the sun has just been killing me. I love that the mornings are nice and warm. It's easy to get up and get moving, except that there's like 19 hours of daylight every freaking day. So I gotta be like in bed, eyes closed, as soon as that sun goes down to even have a chance of getting a decent night's sleep, because it's going to come up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that has been killing me. Throwing a little bit of rain too, and I have not been sleeping well enough lately, but I'm getting better. Just gotta make sure I'm asleep by like 9, 10 o'clock. It's the only way. So back in high school, I remember being over at my friend's house, a couple twins, and we're just hanging out in their basement, and they put on this movie that like I had never heard of. Whatever. It was the weirdest kind of an indie movie. It was like so weird. It takes place in Buffalo, and this guy has about like the most dysfunctional family you can imagine without being violent, right? Like they're just well-meaning parents that are just messed up and messed him up, and his whole life's a train wreck. Well, he ends up going to prison because he bet on the Buffalo Bills money that he didn't have in the bookie, caused problems, yada yada yada. Well, the reason he lost was because that year in the Super Bowl, they were favored to win. He bet big, but they lost because their field goal kicker missed a potentially game-winning field goal, and that was it. They lost to the Giants. I remember this Super Bowl very well because my brother was running a Super Bowl pool, and I don't know, I think I bet $5 or whatever to get some squares. And the final score, I ended up picking 9-0 because I'm like, those are good football numbers, right? Like the field goals and the zero. And I wanted Buffalo to win. So I picked them for the 9 and the Giants for the 0. And it ended up being 20-19 because that field goal was missed, if I'm remembering it rightly. And I won $25. It was amazing. The biggest moment of my life. Not much of a gambler. My other brother hates seeing me at the penny slots because I'll literally play one penny at a time, one line at a time. I am not a gambler, but I had that big win back in Super Bowl 25, I think it was. But so anyways, this movie that's just in the back of my mind forever took place in Buffalo. So I made a point to go around and see a couple of the sites, that was a couple of the filming locations. I had fun with that. So I'm in Highgate, Ontario, little town, getting close to the Detroit area. And it's kind of weird being this close to home when people ask you like, "Oh, where'd you start your ride? Where are you going to?" And I'm like, "Well, I started in Michigan. I'm on my way back to Michigan." It's just kind of like kind of hard to like shoehorn in the like. I didn't exactly take a straight route. I had to stop in Florida and California, and like, how do you explain that it took 2.5 years to get here from Michigan? I survived day 666 without sprouting horns or anything like that. I made a point not to go too close to any churches that day, though. I've got a little less than 4 months left. October 10th is the final day in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I guess next up, I just got a couple more days to get to Michigan. I was really hoping I could go over the Gordie Howe Bridge. Doesn't look like that's going to happen because the world's pettiest man said no. So who knows when that'll finally open? From what I understand, it's all ready to go. When I was crossing over the Canadian border in Buffalo, their border patrol actually said, yeah, they had some of their guys that were from Detroit helping them out because they're just nothing to do until that bridge opens. Who knows when that'll happen? So I'm gonna have to do. There's a little ferry north of Detroit I'll take instead because you can't go through the tunnel or the old bridge or anything like that. So, but yeah, looking forward to a few weeks back in Michigan, catch up with everybody. So, see y'all later.